you doing, Mike?
I'm really good. The pride of the UK. Jimmy, I have to say, the last time that I saw you was in the cage and
Stockholm.
In Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I have to say, wasn't it what I was expecting?
Mm.
In the lead up to that, would you say that that was vintage Jimi Manuwa in terms of training, in terms of preparation, in terms of the way you felt, in terms of your mindset?
There was a lot of things going on outside of camp, training camp and everything, and you know, but I wouldn't say it was just that fight. I'd say over the last couple of years I'd just been turning up to training and just doing the camp and not kind of learning new stuff and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things going on in my personal life as well and everything, and but I didn't really look at it too like it had anything to do with my fight and everything, you know. But when you break it down and stuff, and then maybe it does, you know, because this fighting is a game of inches and that, and every little thing like helps and affects the fight.
It's interesting you talk about how you were feeling in the run up to that, and things weren't actually going the way that they should have in your personal life and behind the scenes, because I remember this seems to be a recurring theme with you in terms of messages, in terms of messaging. If you're not enjoying the MMA, this is what you said to me, that you would quit it. Was it that you weren't enjoying the MMA because of the outside influences, or let's call it as it is, you are, in terms of mixed martial arts, you are a veteran in the game. So how much of it was you not enjoying it, and how much of it was the effect that your personal life was bringing into?
I don't know, I haven't really broken it down, but I always enjoy MMA. And I've come to realise that now that I've tried to stop training for a few months and stuff, and then now I realise that it is what I do. I am a fighter, and you know, like after my last fight, I said I was going to retire and everything. I tried to do nothing at all, like no training, nothing. I went on holiday, I went out drinking, I was trying to enjoy my life and everything, but in the back of my mind, I'm always watching the fights, I'm always watching people's training and everything, and I know that I can do it, sort of thing, you know what I mean, innit?
Yeah. So you talking about just pulling away just momentarily to what you just focused on just a minute ago, you were saying that once you stopped fighting, you focused on another thing. One of the things I would say is a characteristic of yours, which I've observed over the years, in that you don't do things by halves. You do things properly or not at all. How much of the partying and how much of the drinking and the excessive like going out consumed your life?
It did a little bit, but at the same time I've got a family as well, so it's not like I went into depression and I was drinking and partying all the time, but I just tried to not think about training and not think about fighting and think, oh, like, you've retired now, like, go and enjoy your life and stuff. So I went on a few holidays and that, but I took the family with me and that, but I just tried to live a normal life, and that's not me.
Just to bring you back though to Stockholm and the aftermath of that, you leave the cage, you're on the flight back home, you've landed now, just to bring you straight back down to earth, you're back on UK soil. Had the journey to leave your gloves in the middle of the octagon, figuratively speaking, begun before you got on the plane, or as soon as you landed, or straight after you landed?
Probably a couple of days after I got back.
What was the determining factor?
It wasn't any. It's more the losses and stuff. You know, like it's more 3-4 losses in a row and everything, and I myself, no matter what everyone else is saying, I myself can't couldn't take it, sort of thing. I was thinking I should be beating these guys, and that, and starting through the Volkan Ozdemir loss, and that loss there, like, I wasn't awake. I wasn't, like, I hadn't switched on for the fight and all that. I was still daydreaming when I was walking in the cage and that. And the same kind of thing happened with Rakic as well. It's more focus and stuff. I felt like I wasn't even there. I was just on autopilot and that. And I just felt that I should be beating these guys, and it's I don't. To me, it's not about age or anything. I started this sport late, really late. I'm only 10 years in the sport. I started when I was 28 years old, and so I haven't got a lot of mileage on the clock. I don't feel, and I just felt I should be beating these guys. If I can't beat these guys and these newcomers and stuff, then there's no point. And I think I've always said to myself, it's either UFC fighting for the world's best organisation or nothing else. Whereas I wouldn't fight for Bellator or ONE FC or one of them other ones. I wouldn't fight for. I've always said I'd only fight for the premier organisation.
But there you have a very, very compelling paradox there. You don't feel as though you are, dare I say, good enough to compete with.
I wouldn't say I was good enough. I wouldn't say I didn't feel I was good enough, because I know I'm good enough in sparring and in my training and everything. It's just I should be beating these guys on the night and that. So that's how I feel.
But those guys on the night are in the UFC, and if I remember rightly, they're all still in the UFC. But if you enjoy fighting, is what I'm saying, would it not be more in keeping or fitting for you to go to, say, a Bellator or a ONE FC to continue that legacy?
I feel those fights would not just be as hard, but I feel a fight's a fight.
So, just talking about your transition from fighter to filling the void that was obviously left through the lack of fighting, did you not have any comfort, or did you not have any kind of focus in the fact that you could transfer your skills? Because as I've just found out, you still have those skills and they're transferable skills. Is there not any comfort in the fact that you could actually give that onto, say, a new breed, a new generation? Is there not comfort from that?
Yeah, of course. I've always been into passing on skills and passing on knowledge with the youngers coming up, and that I've got a few other youngers coming up who I still train with and pass on knowledge and train with and stuff. There's always comfort in that. But it's not the real thing, It's being a coach or being a corner in the background saying, do that. You want to? I myself want to get in there and do it myself.
Just one thing which kind of occurred to me when you were talking about actual fighting and loving the fighting. Obviously, there's casualties in the war that you have been in, and what I'm talking about specifically is the damage that you've actually incurred, picked up in terms of your vocation. The knockouts that you've sustained of late, and that is in your journey, have been pretty devastating knockouts. For longevity, would this not be the time to kind of think, okay, for the sake of my health, let me just draw a line in the sand and say, okay, that was then, this is now?
I haven't decided what I'm doing or what I'm gonna do. Do you get me? So, and it's not for anyone else, it's for myself and that. Do you get me? So it's not for anyone else to. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously I've got loved ones and everything who care and stuff and everything, but it's for when I fight or when I train even, it's for myself.
Brilliant. Because then that leads me on to a few tweets which I saw recently, and there are heavyweights and light heavyweights who you feel that you'd be able to beat. Now, does that mean that you signed off as well, just to paraphrase, I'm not sure if I got the words right here, but it's time to get back to work? What does that mean?
I was bored. I was bored, and I thought I'd tweet it. I don't know. I was bored, and like watching. When was I? think it was after the what fight card was on? I think it was the Usman, or maybe the one before that was on. I was watching the countdowns and everything, and it was like gassing me up and that. I'd been running, I'd been wrestling and everything, and I don't know. I'm playing with the idea, but I'm seeing how I feel.
Yeah, because what kind of like leads me on to the question now is we have a UFC London card coming up, 21st of March 2020. Does the fact that, when you think about it, they don't really have a headliner from London who could actually fit
Who's headlining that?
Well, they haven't actually decided at the moment. It's looking very likely that it's going to be Darren Till versus who's the Joker? Jack Hermanson. So it's looking like that's going to be the headliner. But neither of them are from London, though. Okay, one's from the UK, but I feel, you know, if you...
Who headlined last year? There was Darren Till and Masvidal, wasn't it?
And Masvidal, yeah. Now...
He went from London, it was still good turnout.
Oh, fantastic.
Darren Till's he's a UK love him and that, you know. He fills out arenas in the UK.
They do, but they do need someone
from London,
or they do need a poster boy from London.
I know the UK needs me, man.
Well, you see, that's what I thought prompted that.
But you know, I'm just playing with the idea and all that. I'm seeing how I feel and that, you know. I'm not making any decision. I'm taking my time, and which is what I've got. You know, I said I've retired and everything. I'm just playing with the idea, basically. Do you get me? Everyone's getting a bit, is he coming back? No, don't come back because think of your family and this. Like,
only you can make that decision.
Exactly.
I really don't feel it's for anybody to decide what Jimmy.
This is what I'm saying.
Apart from Jimmy, the person.
And my family as well. You know, I'll go home to my kids, my wife, and everything. Do you get me? So.
But ultimately, you'll make that decision. So getting back to the question, though, I noticed you are back in training. I noticed that you seem to be sharpening the tools again. And I just can't help but feel that with London on the horizon, if they offered you a fight, would you take it? As we sit here right now,
they wouldn't offer me a fight. I would have to offer them a fight. You know. At the moment, no. I wouldn't, because I'm not in shape or anything. I'm just playing with it with training, and I'm enjoying training a lot. I've been wrestling a lot. I've been going boxing a lot. I'm still doing bits of strength and conditioning and everything just to stay in shape, because I got out of shape. I went up to like 109 kilos and that. I was fucking eating all the fucking apple crumble and custards and that. But you know.
Which leads me on to something I was going to ask you earlier.
Now I'm trimming down and feeling good, starting to feel good again.
We've seen some of the UFC players actually shift up and down weights. Did at any point it cross your mind whether you
to go heavyweight?
No, middleweight.
No, not really. No, not really. It has crossed my mind, but don't know.
So how about to go up a weight then, heavyweight? Because
I wouldn't.
You can quite clearly make heavyweight.
Do you know? I would do heavyweight boxing. I would do heavyweight boxing.
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't do cruiserweight boxing. I'll do heavyweight boxing against a smallish heavyweight. And that.
Just before we wrap up,
I've been boxing a lot lately.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Get my footwork and my distance and everything. What I think that I needed to work on in my training camps and that. Because my training camps, they were just like turn up, train, spar, get fit, get ready, let's go, time to fight, and that.
I know.
Whereas there was no learning and breaking stuff down and stuff like that, which is what you need to do at the elite level.
I know, just in terms of boxing and boxing challenges, David Haye was possibly on the horizon for you. I know David has now.
I was chasing that fight a lot, and you know, he agreed. We spoke on the phone. I flew to Vegas, met with Dana. We had a three-way call and everything, and it was all agreed after his Belly rematch.
Yeah.
And then he lost that, and then retired, and that. So that kind of threw that out the window. And then, but I saw him at Bellator last month or a couple of months ago, and I approached him. I said, "Bruv, let's fill up the O2, bruv."
What did he say to that?
And he said, "Oh, nah, man, I've retired." So I had to respect that, you know. So when someone's done, he's done, innit? So
I hear you.
yeah.
Jimi the Poster Boy, it's been a pleasure chewing the fat with you, and thank you for, first of all, your time, but also for your honesty, because it's been a long time in coming. I remember when I first started out WHOATV, there were two people who actually I focused on in terms of fighters. One was Carlos Famola, the other person was you, who subsequently went on to help me in more ways than you can possibly imagine.
Well, this is the first interview I've done since my fight, since retiring.
You went on Area Hawani. It's the second
That was
interview.
like 2 days after, though.
Yeah.
I was like, not. Did I say I'd retired, though?
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you were talking about management. You were talking about
No,
possibly coaching.
Yeah, that was like I had to do that one, but
Yeah.
whatever. But you know, I got love for you, man.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't done any interviews and everything. I don't really like the media stuff and everything. Like, everyone's got something to say, but I'll always be there for WHOATV.